Yo, who's watching Ant? Sup, Ant? Let me know if you want to call in. There we go. There's our schedule. I'm going to wait till I have 3 viewers. Start talking. Morning, sir. Good morning. Let me put this down. Sorry to show a little too much. I was trying to pull up the schedule. See how that looks on my screen. Looks pretty good. So as you can tell, there's a schedule for this week. Starting with yesterday, we're going to do a small recap based on the results I know and the games I covered. Let me talk about what I saw first and foremost. As somebody else joins the conversation, welcome to the show. Good morning, everybody. What's the schedule for WCFFL, MFL, MAFL? It's a little hard to say. It's a lot of games there, yeah. Let me see if I can start with. Let's start by talking about yesterday. Yesterday was awesome. What a good day for football. I had a lot of fun. Looking at some of the results from yesterday, I didn't get all the games results down, so I have no idea who's won what offhand. Nobody really posted anything last night, so I'm going to do the best I can. If you have a squad who's 1-0 or 2-0 or 1-1, let me know. Or even just 0-1 or 1-0, you know. So let's look back at it, starting with the morning game. AFN and the BFFL Predators. That was the first game I did yesterday morning. AFN was the tone of the day for them was sloppy on offense, but lights out on defense. The offense only put up 17 points on the Predators. In fact, it was only 3-0 in the third quarter. And I sat there wondering, I'm like, could AFN possibly lose this game? And the only difference was Blazer second. Nice. The only difference was in the end was that the Bahamas team just could not mount an offense to save their life. Their quarterback missed so many open guys. And when I say open guys, I mean just one guy. Number 12 on the Predators was wide open for a good portion of the game, and he never looked his way. Never. And lack of quarterback play, coupled with an excellent performance by AFN, is a great recipe for a affiliates victory. And so AFN took that game 17-0. As for the Predators, their next game would be against the Cayman Islands, and I only know this result because someone told me. It was a 0-0 tie between those two. Yes, a 0-0 tie. Apparently, from what I've discovered in the Caribbean, the offenses are not very good. That's the one thing I learned yesterday. No offense. I actually applaud them for coming to this tournament. It's really awesome to think that the Bahamas plays flag football. And from what I've seen, they take it pretty seriously, too. A lot of pride in with those guys, a lot of passion. Really hope to see them at least try to score a victory at some point. It'd be pretty cool. The game I covered, though, was Nomads Downstate. That game was 0-0 for the most part. Until the third quarter when both offenses finally came to life. Nomads win 13-6 in the end. Great victory by the Nomads. If you haven't checked out their new uniforms yet, go ahead and check it out on the page. They're pretty sharp. Nomads scored a dub. They're 1-0 today. Downstate, I don't know what happened to them after that. Don't have the results of that offhand, but I'm just going to continue with the results I do know. The next game, AFN Baltimore Hawks. That was a case of a 10-0 affiliates win where, once again, AFN was just sloppy offensively. But the defense played lights out. Capitalizing on every single mistake that combined forces made along the way, as they were called. And I know people say Baltimore Hawks, but they told me they were combined forces, so I don't know what to say. 10-0, though, was the final. Combined forces just didn't happen. And offensively speaking. And at the end of the day, AFN was 2-0, plus 27, strongest team in the comp bracket going into day two from the looks of things. We'll see how it goes with AFN and what they do. The next game I did was Illuminati versus the NTB Wolfpack. That game was a case where it came down to the wire again, another low-scoring defensive game. That was a theme of day one, a lot of low-scoring defensive games in the comp bracket. In this case, it was Illuminati victorious they fell to the NTB Wolfpack 7-6. I was so focused on talking about the Illuminati that I didn't think about the win or loss factor. A little early, trying to get warmed up before we go out and call these games. I'll have a schedule right after I finish the recap. But yeah, came down to a last-second field goal. Illuminati missed it, way short. NTB Wolfpack successful in victory. Congratulations, Wolfpack. I'm still not sure what happened with them. I actually was hoping somebody would have some results last night, but unfortunately there was nothing posted. The other game I went on 11:45 that I do know the result of. Combined Forces defeated the Cayman Islands. Don't have a score, but it was a pretty bad bad beat down from what I heard. Cayman Islands 0-0 and 0-1-1 on the day. Not a good look. Combined Forces 1-1, and they have a good shot at making Sunday. And that would be a big step for this franchise. The 1 o'clock games I took off. I do know Scorpions were crushing Riot Squad whenever I was going by the field watching. 2:15 games going on. Renegades defeated Riot Squad as well. Again, Riot Squad just had nothing for either team. Looking. Ride Out Rampage. That was supposed to be the game of the day for the day portion. And truthfully, it was a very physical, very chippy game, but a very sloppy game. Rampage had at least 3 turnovers, but Ride Out couldn't capitalize on any of them. But the problem was neither could Rampage. Rampage could get nothing going. So in the end, it comes down to a last-second field goal to tie the game, and that's all she wrote, 3-3. Very tight physical game, but just a tie's a tie. You know, nothing's really settled. We're going to see how they do day two to break that tie and try to improve on it. 3:30 games. Baez Auto defeated the Birmingham Heat 12-9. Unfortunately, was not able to stream that game. That's right about when I started having issues with the live. For what I heard, I wasn't the only one. I heard Jerome had some issues too along the way. Jamie had good service all day from what I heard or saw, which is good. Hopefully it holds up today, it does better. Cell phone service is probably one of the most inconsistent things in the fucking world. Bottom line. But moving along past that, Baez beat them 12-9. Last-second touchdown for Baez. Proud of those York boys. They bust their ass every game. The other 3:30 game, I want to say it was Blackhawks over the ND Titans. Don't have a score on that one. 4:45 games. Main event was crushing on Back and Black last time I heard. I want to say it was like 27 to something. Main event just having their way with them. Excellent start. You're definitely tell they were flexing their muscles going into tomorrow night, or rather tonight actually. I got to remember it's Saturday already. Quick vacation, let me tell you. Been a very quick one. Punishers destroyed Anarchy. That game was never close. I live streamed part of that game, and it was 26-0 when I left. One-sided affair. Punishers look really good. I'm interested to see what they got going into today. Second gen over Texas boys. That game was never in doubt. Second gen just crushed them. Texas boys seemed a little thin on the sideline, I noticed. Hopefully they have more today. 6 o'clock games. SI beat the Vikings. Don't have a score on that one. But I heard the Vikings just did not do very well, from what I gathered. I see Boots watching. Maybe he can give me an insight on the score on that one. Gladiators Anarchy. That was a Gladiators victory. A better game out of Anarchy, honestly. The highlight was C.J. Tarver as the Gladiators quarterback. Caught me off guard. And it took me a minute to recognize because I'd seen CJ since Ocean City playing for Laney's. And so seeing him on Gladiators was a bit of a surprise for me. But he balled out. He did really well. He looked like C.J. Tarver, all right. But the Gladiators victorious in that one. Main event in the 7 o'clock games defeated the Vikings. I want to say the score of that one was 20-7 or something along those lines. Main event, once again, flexing their muscles. SI flexing theirs. Whew. I tell you, tonight's going to be something. But we'll get to that after we finish this. Adrenaline Rush, Gladiators, a 7:15 game. 80. What a good game that was. What a game that was. ADR and Gladiators. What a battle. If you want to say best game of the day that I saw personally, it was that one. ADR shocked them. They went up 14-0. Chris Boone found Cannon Hall on the long touchdown and an option pitch. And Cannon made them all miss. And that was the story of the game. ADR was up 14-0 and only to the fourth quarter. Seemed like they might be blowing out the Gladiators. A bit of a shocker. But the Gladiators never gave up. They rallied back. Tarver found 2 open targets on that left side of the field. They exploited the secondary. And as a result, it was a 14-14 tie with about a minute to go before Chris Boone found Cannon Hall one more time. And this one more time went for 60 yards and a touchdown to take a 21-14 lead. They never surrendered. ADR victorious. They're 1-0 on the day. Gladiators 1-1. Going to be interesting to see where that goes with this squad because they definitely have a shot at making day 2 by pulling off this upset. Or day 3, rather. I keep losing perspective on how many days these tournaments are. 3 days for this one, 2 for the others. Bullets and second gen. Herd second gen won that one. Heard it was a very competitive game. I was doing the ADR game while that was going on. 7-point playmakers, 7-point won that one, 14-6. That was a very chippy game. Those guys don't like each other. I could already tell. I feel like Capital Classic like a bad taste in the mouth of Playmakers Elite from 7-point spread, and I feel like this loss didn't help anything. There was several instances of just the game being stopped because the guys were just going at it. It was very physical. It was very intense. But at the end of the day, the only thing that matters was scoreboard, and 7-point spread covered the spread by winning by 8. Aftermath Lions, I don't have a score for that one, but I was told that Lions won. So the Lions 1-0 on the day. Curious to see how they fare tomorrow night or tonight. Yeah, I got to remember it's 6 o'clock in the morning and not like 11 o'clock yesterday. Oh, boy. Get yourself together, Joey. And I was hoping to get the results of Blazers Bullets, but I did not quite hear it, so nothing on that one. So let's move along. My impressions of day 1 and the 9-man comp bracket, and I feel like everybody looks like they're just getting off the plane or the boat or however you want to say it. They're just weary. They're tired. I think a long trip kind of wore a lot of guys down. And so as a result, you saw a lot of sloppy day 1 play. And right now, you got to figure day 2's coming up. With day 2 coming up, that's a pretty big deal. Right now, you got to get in sync. If you're 1-0, you got to finish. If you're 0-1, you got to hope for a miracle. And if you're anywhere in between, tip that bone. I ain't here to. But if you're anywhere in between, ants make me laugh. Better hope you win. because like today is, I won't say it's money day, but it's just may as well be a money day. Because one game ain't shit. Let's be real. 3 is the challenge. And it ain't about going 1-0 or 0-1. It's about how you finish. So a lot of teams have a shot at redemption today. A lot of others are already dead in the water. Anybody who's 0-2, you better hope for a miracle. So I took a look at the comments section real quick before I move along to the schedule. Yes, I'm about to get to that, actually. Blazers in second gen will be a game to watch. I think so. What time is that one? 8:30. Oh, that's going to be good. 8:30 kickoff? Yeah, I'm stoked. I might have that one. We'll see. I'm going to see what's going on, actually, with that. Renegade Scorpions? Yeah, that is – I actually don't know if Scorpions beat the Demons or not. They were playing, and I meant to check in, but I never got an opportunity. Either way, from the looks of it, that's going to be your 8 o'clock game. We're going to have a rematch of the Capital Classic between Scorpions and Renegades. And it's going to be good. So that's your 8 o'clock kickoff, Field 6. I'll be on the field for it. Afterwards, the 9:15 game, it's going to vary. I might do Renegades Demons if Renegades happen to win over the Scorpions. But I could also do some other games too. We'll see. I try to follow the teams who have a shot at winning. I try to stay away from those who lost yesterday and are sitting dead in the water. I won't announce any. I will announce some games right now that I'll do as you take a look at the schedule. Hopefully it's clear to those watching. I'm looking at my phone and it's legible enough for me where I can see it. So I think that works out. I meant to keep that on there so you guys can study it and remember it. ADR Punishers, that's going to be a game, man. That's gonna be 6 o'clock. I'm gonna see what's going on because the plan is to cover ADR Anarchy because I'm following ADR to see how they do. If they win and the Punishers are sitting there at 6, then Punishers ADR may as well determine who wins that bracket. So we shall see. I don't like to announce games because I'm trying to do a certain way this time around. But the ones I will announce real quick with Scorpions, Renegades, that's a definite. We're doing that. Might do Baez and Blackhawks, looking at that game. Going to see what happens with both of those teams afterwards, too. Could also be a time slot where I take a break. I haven't decided yet. It all depends on who wins and who doesn't. And I thank you for being the only viewer watching this whole time. It's meant for everybody to go back and rewatch later. I figure nobody's up at 6:25 yet. Everybody's getting ready to head out for 5-man and 9-man. I know I'm ready to head out. I know for certain the game I'll be doing will be Strong Island Bulldogs versus Main Event. That is your prime time game of the day. SI Main Event 3. We've been waiting since Charm City for this matchup. And now, here we are. Scorpions won against the Demons, Ant. Thank you. Good morning, Peter. Tip that bong, Ant. Yeah, I don't actually have it on me. It's at my house. You can't bring a bong onto the air. I don't think you can bring a bong into the airport. Though I could have packed it theoretically. But there's not much. Anyway, I've been getting some gases on the field, nowhere near anywhere else. Oh, yeah. That's going to be a good one, Ant. SI main event. That is your prime time game of the night. Other games I'm going to be doing, AFN and Cayman Islands. We're going to see if AFN can try to seal the 1 seed. Scorpions Renegades is definitely confirmed. Scorpions are going to win that, or trying to win that bracket. We're going to see if they can do it. Renegades have 1 win under their belt, so it's almost a de facto championship game. So we'll see how that goes. And so that's really about it. Not much else to cover. Going to be a good show. Looking forward to it. 8 o'clock we kick off. Scorpions and Renegades, rematch of the Capital Classic. If anybody else got any comments, oh yeah, it's everywhere in the field. It's great. I just can't get it. I just can't get into the privacy of this place. That's about it. It was a good day yesterday overall. Weather held up pretty nicely. The wind was pretty wicked, but other than that, like, it wasn't terrible, you know. I've certainly been through worse conditions in flag football. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great. Hopefully they'll have the brackets out for Sunday ASAP. We're going to have live coverage all day. I'll be at the field. I'm going to have to stretch like a mofo, though, because I think I almost pulled something. Didn't feel good. Let's put it that way. But I'll be good. We got this. For now, though, signing off. I'm Joey Blaze. We'll see you in about 90 minutes.